So remember how at the end of last night I said something along the lines of, if Dread doesn't get here tomorrow, I'm going to be depressed. Guess who's depressed? I am mad, but I'm not mad. There are a few reasons for this. One, I finished AM2R. That's nice. It really is a good game. It really, really is a good game. When I finished it, it was still early enough that I was living in some vague hope that the FedEx tracker was just garbage and it was actually on the way. It was not. It apparently sat in Memphis for 24 hours before leaving there at around 4 o'clock today. The best part is, the shipping date, the tracker is still, like, I don't know when it's going to get here. Like, the last update was it left Memphis, let's see, 7 hours ago. I don't know where it is now. And on the FedEx site, it's still like, it might get there today. It's like 11 o'clock for context. So that sucks. But during that point, I played some Shipbreaker. It was fine. And then I said, screw it. I'm going to play Samus Returns again. So I got it pulled up and running really well. I'm enjoying it. I am. But having just come off of playing Fusion and finishing AM2R for the first time, I think I firmly stand by my ramblings last night that while Samus Returns is probably the more important game because it revitalized official 2D Metroid games, AM2R is the better remake. But strangely, this is making me look forward to Dread even more, because one of the selling points I remember seeing in the treehouse afterwards was how much more fluid combat in general, but specifically the melee counter thing, is supposed to be. Like, it's like basically a lot of stuff that you have to stand still and do in Samus Returns, you're supposed to be able to do on the fly in Dread. Also, something I've noticed immediately is how much closer Samus Returns is zoomed in. I think it's more on par with Fusion. With a bit more maneuverability to the camera if you look around. Whereas AM2R was more on par with Super Metroid. This actually can make environments, the camera zoomed in can actually make environments feel more claustrophobic. And you end up, more often than not, well, no, it's not really so much of a problem with enemies off screen, but just like enemies come into the screen so quickly, especially flying ones or anything that's moving towards you, that it can be a problem. But like, towards the end, when I was getting back into it, it was getting better, because this is a personal problem. But one of my problems while playing Metroid games and Zelda games as well is, and even Mario games sometimes, I think I have to kill everything. Like, I have to attack and defeat every enemy in my way. Despite the fact that they will be back in like 0.2 seconds. So like, that's a thing I was getting better at towards the end, and then because if you do try to kill everything really early on, a lot of your exploration is going to be run a few feet, up there's an enemy, stop and wait for it to attack so you can counter and kill it, when you easily could have just like jumped over it or ran by it before it even attacked you. So I was getting better at that by the end. The Metroid fights themselves I am liking more in Samus Returns, though. You can really tell that that's where their focus was, which is good, because you're gonna have to be doing a lot of it. There are 40 Metroids, and if they are all the same boring fight, well then there you go, it'd be boring. AM2R did fine, but it was it was basically, it was a lot more simple. How do I explain this? The Metroid fights in AM2R were more frenzied. They were more get in, do damage really quick while you can, just rail, classic, which is the classic Metroid experience. Whereas in AM2R, they're a bit more calculated, especially with the inclusion of the melee counter. There's, like the first two variations of Metroid in AM2R and the original Metroid 2 are kind of just the same. The second one's just bigger and has some more attacks, but other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. When all else fails, shove yourself in a corner, crouch down, and fire missiles. Whereas, in AM2R, each stage is fairly unique. Where at Samus Returns, I don't know if I said Samus Returns, I think I said AM2R. And Samus Returns are a bit more unique, with the second version, not only flying, but running around on the ground at times. So as I'm sitting here, I'm pausing a lot because it's becoming exceedingly obvious that one of my night pills stuck in my throat. And it's not a big deal. It's just feels like indigestion. And that's making me not want to speak. So I'm going to give in to that tonight. Tomorrow I'm going grocery shopping. Hopefully I will come home to Metroid Dread. That would be pretty great. But until then, I will catch you all tomorrow. Good night.